chance to read the minutes, entertain a motion to accept the minutes approved.
Minutes need changed a little bit. This Bonita Slickman, not Bonita, not the major. And then, dispute with neighbors about parking and trespassing was to be handled by Hessen Car. And that's all I got. Something else, maybe not. No. No, that's all I got.
You guys got any changes? Did you get them changes, Jody?
I'm looking, I see where it was spelled wrong, but I don't see.
Down a couple lines further. So, I guess clear up the top, Bruce Lee instead of Bruce Ladd, maybe. That was the other one.
Got her? Now, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Oh, where do we start? This gentleman right here.
Me?
Yep.
What do you need from me?
Did you have something you wanted to say, or?
Not particularly.
Okay. Just to hear the
Yeah,
observe.
just here to.
Behind you,
Just observing.
Cassie,
Got nothing.
Scott.
He's got notes.
Oh, no. I got a question. What time did Kyler turn on the water in the house?
We had a discussion about that. We came along one time, Kyler called, or tried to call. I mean, it was at night, that's all I can tell you. I was on vacation.
The only phone call I received from Kyler in the matter of turning on the water at 304 Walcott was, I've had a lot going on, so you'll have to give me 1 second. 326, which was Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Would you like to see the phone record?
No, I'm completely.
We didn't receive a phone call about him coming back up. I made a call to Jody on Saturday because we were told that the following Saturday of the 26th. So that way the notes are accurate for those who are taking notes.
I think Jody got a hold of Kyler then.
Yep. And we were up until like 9 o'clock. My dad was there working on the place and everything like that. And Kyler never showed up. I woke up Saturday morning, or Sunday morning, to the water being on. And 3/4 of the first floor flooded.
And that's what Bruce said. Yeah, we got that straightened out. He's not allowed to turn nobody's water on or nothing.
Here's the work order.
Yeah.
A copy of the work order. That states, start reading meter. No dates given. No signatures. No nothing.
I didn't know that. Nobody told me about that.
And I went and spoke to an attorney, and he's advised me to get an estimate, just so the council does know.
Okay.
Then he tells Jody that my other house, 209 Walcott, magically has a leak now. Yet no one's been out there to look at it. We're still fluctuating from $6,000 to 16,000 gallons of water. And I've been through my house over and over and over. I have been in this council room over and over and over.
We've had rural water out here and everything else. I don't know what to tell you, Scott. We put a new meter in.
I understand that. And we're still having the same problems as we were before. When are we going to,
I mean, where's the burden of proof lie? I mean,
you wanna come inspect my house too?
they didn't say that, Scott.
I mean, you're telling me that I don't know how to look at my water pipes and telling me that I don't know how to choose that.
I just, unless council wants to change the meter again.
Well, something's going on here, and I'm the one that's eating the cost here.
I guess that's up to council.
Is it between the meter and his house, or is it?
Well, that's what the leak said. I mean, it's
after-
going through the
after
meter.
There's no water anywhere, so.
There's no water. Me and Kyler last fall literally went out there, and I came that following council meeting.
Yep.
And watched the meter turn on the water in the house, turn the water off, and watched it jump a half a gallon. And I was told that it was going to be fully investigated, and have never heard anything else about it. Now, I've got a lot going on in my personal life, so I haven't been able to make it to these councils to see if anything has been had. But obviously, you're telling me that nothing's been done.
Well, he's been doing, where he puts the eye. Okay,
Down the clock.
plus we get, cam strap here again. I don't know what else to do, Scott, unless we change the meter again.
Well, it sounds like we need to get the cam struck out here because from what I've heard that this is, my meter is not the only one doing this. Is my recommendation to the council. Because if it's not just one person having this issue and it's multiple homes having this issue, then we need to get the maker out here to figure out what's going on so we can fix the problem, so we don't have this issue. Right?
The other people though, why ain't they speaking up?
Yeah,
Because they don't come in here because, as I've been told by the people, is that nothing gets done at this table.
Well, I can't say that. We've been out there 6, 7 times, Scott.
And we got all new meters since I've been on council. We had the old meters and we've gotten new meters, so.
You got me a new meter, and we're
No,
still having.
The whole city has got new meters, so I don't think it's fair to say council does nothing. I don't think that blanket statement's fair.
Okay, sure. So,
All I can do is say we get cam strip out here again. If they say change the meter, we'll change the meter. I don't know what else to do, Scott.
well, I'd like it figured out because I'm tired of paying $450 a month in water for the water that I don't use.
I recall looking at his bills, I mean, it turned on the days he was his the bill we looked at that had more usage on the days he was home than he wasn't? Was his the bills we pulled? And the days he was home, he had higher usage than the days he wasn't? We reviewed those water usage bills.
We had partial data at that time as well. And it was asked that we get a full view on it and was never told if that was
Because
done.
I asked if you were working those days at home, and you said home, and those were the higher usage days. Which in theory would make
No.
sense if you were there using more water.
I don't remember that conversation, ma'am, and I have a very good memory.
so what's the decision, you're gonna call Camstruck?
Yep, call them tomorrow.
Okay.
See you next month.
Okay?
Yep, see you next month, call me, let me know if you guys are coming out, and if I can make myself available, I will make myself available.
We'll do that.
Thank you.
I put a note on here, would you like to be there?
Kevin, you got anything?
Just like to know the ordinance on these, I hear that, they're gonna bitch about my camper that we're staying after we get the building, but I like to know what the lowdown is on everything, cause I know I'm not the only one.
Right.
I know the ones been sitting for a year, they've been living in it, and I ain't seen a damn thing said to them to let me move mine in, and somebody's already hissing up. So, let's get it on the goddamn table now, what's going on, because I don't care to be railroaded.
Right. It's the first I've heard of it, so I couldn't tell you. I don't,
There was,
if you're planning on building there, I don't think there's a problem. And
Well,
I'm
the
I'm
zone
not
said
hooked,
6
I'm not
months.
hooked to the sewer, I'm not hooked to the water, nothing. I go out to my ex-wife and take a shower when I need one, I got a shop out there,
Yeah,
but that was the goal, to put a new shop up right there,
Right.
is what I'm planning on doing,
I thought that's what you told me.
you know? But if I'm gonna have it difficult, I'll take it somewhere else, I won't stay with this town. I mean, I've been good to the town all the years I've lived here, I've helped out when the floods, Amos knows, you know, I've always been there for the town. But the town wants to really, trying to make a better spot, then to me, you know, I come from a small town in this, and I have never seen that shit goes on like it does here. I mean,
Yeah.
people taking pictures of people's properties,
Yep.
walking around, doing things.
I took that picture because letters were supposed to be sent. Have you went through zoning, got your permits and everything to build?
I got my paperwork,
And you were okay to put the trailer there?
but
Or did you just put it there?
it's a private lot, I didn't,
They've been there for how long?
yeah.
Well, I don't know, was the letter ever sent? Was he one of them, or?
Was the letter sent, Judy?
I have not sent letters yet, no.
Okay. Well, you have 6 months to get your house built.
So what are the rules about having a camper? Like corner, because he isn't the only one, so
I know,
why do they have to
Garrett's
have?
trying to get his place built, and he's in a little bind with a guy that just ripped him off for $120,000.
He said that he's gonna get a letter too.
Yep.
Well, I mean, just up the road, there's one been there for over a year, and they've been living in it,
Where's that at?
right on the corner, right across from Garrett. They've been living in that for over a year, and I know. I don't care.
You got an address on that?
I don't know what it is. Down there where George,
William Street.
you know what I'm talking about, Alan?
Yeah, I think so. Millers?
Williams and
On the
Green.
corner?
Yeah, Miller.
Oh, you mean on the corner of Hogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know anybody living in that area.
I know it's been sitting there for a while.
Well, I know it's been
Yeah,
set.
it's plugged in, I didn't know he was living in it.
Okay.
Well, I know
I mean,
somebody.
I don't, to me, I'm, but if I
Right.
wanna get railroaded, by God, there's gonna be some other things taken care of in this town, cause I'll come
Yeah.
unglued. And just start naming names and things will happen then, because I'm not here to cause trouble, but I don't wanna be pushed.
Yeah, I don't play it.
I mean, I've done a lot for the town and, you know,
So, Kevin, on the zoning books, it says if you like move a camper there to live, you have 6 months basically to build. I don't know if it's like it has to be completed, but like if a good faith that, you
Right.
know, you've made
right, I
progress.
understand,
in
that's
it.
what I'm going for.
And
you
so,
know.
I don't think you've been singled out. If you have, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah.
No.
But you're not the only one, like, it just can't be that trailers pop up and people just move in and just live in. There has to be progress,
Right.
moving forward. You know, if you have all intentions of building a shop or a barn dominium, or what's the shops called?
shall.
Yeah, learn
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
And then-
as long as there's progress started, that's what they're gonna see, so, yeah,
But yeah, that was my main concern while we were going.
absolutely. And it's fair to ask, I mean, you don't know unless you come up and ask, I think that's a great question.
Yeah, I didn't know you were building there, for one. For two, Garrett lost his house, we know he's needs something done.
Yeah, that one, right, ain't gonna get that hooked.
Yeah, so the Millers, we need to get them a letter. So these are 3 letters, or 2 letters, that should have been sent, the third one.
You want her
will be on
chair?
the way.
I haven't seen anybody go in
I think
and
they're holding off.
No, so you're not being
Yeah,
picked
I
on
mean,
only, there's different
You
people
don't
that,
see too many till evening.
you know, we just keep updates, records of what's going on.
But I just wanted to know what it was. I agree, there's some places around here that needs cleaned up, but, I got a question, what are they gonna do with, Jim's old place down there, that double wide? Has the town got that yet?
Well,
We can't-
he's selling it, I mean,
It's for
he's selling
sale.
a lot right now,
Yeah.
he has it for sale, there's a for sale sign in it.
Is it?
If you can read it, it's like.
Yeah, it's kinda half, but it's
I
nice.
tried to buy that damn place a long time
What
ago.
are you talking to me about?
I don't care if it's, I've been putting a new shop there.
Yeah, he has it for sale now,
No, I see.
supposedly.
See if he wants to tell me one way too much for it.
Well, that's a nice lot. It's deep. It goes clear back by the creek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does, but that place is nothing but an eyesore. The roofs fell in on it.
Well, we've got land bank in on it and everything else.
I just didn't tear it down and rebuild what I was gonna do.
And he talked about remodel. Anyhow, that's.
It ain't gonna, they lived there, and he tried, I mean, he never done anything.
Oh, where the tree fell in the house,
Isn't it a corporation on that? Like,
some house.
LLC.
Jody,
It's an LLC.
Yeah.
Jody called.
Still responsible.
Oh, absolutely, I just saying.
Jody called him and told him the tree went down on the house.
Kevin, does that answer your question, just cause you're out?
Oh, no.
No, I mean, if you, okay, thank you.
So we wanna send them a letter to Jody,
Jeff Byers.
Jeff Byers' old place. That's gonna be a housing for who knows what. I mean, the corner of it's,
It's already foundation done.
yeah, I know some people that take that.
Nothing to that, we'll move it down.
Do you have anything?
No, that's my daughter.
Yeah, I thought. Lonnie? Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, the museum, there's a museum group for Van Wert County that meets every 3 months. And of course, it's the year of 250 celebration. And they've got these little placards you can get. I think they have them at the library, I have a few here. But, you can do scan that and get more information, but it's about Isaac Van Wert, which it's a misspelling, as to Van Wert, should have been Van Wert. But, anyways, it's a replica of, well, it's just to be associated with Van Wert celebration. They're gonna be having a big 250 celebration, on July 4th, parade in Van Wert and stuff, and the museum here is going to join with the other museums and do a float and everything. So I've got these, and then there's, for Ohio, they've got, and I've got more of these too. Ohio Goes to the Movies, it's an unprecedented all Ohio movie series in 2026. And a lot of the movie theaters are going to be picking movies, that feature people that have directed, participated in the movies that were from Ohio. So it's really sort of interesting if you wanna read that. There's a bunch of information and some websites you can go to for that. I just wanted to share a little bit about that. I'll leave that here on this table. But, this is really interesting. We had a club, year where we featured people from Ohio, and there's some major people from Ohio as to movie stars and stuff, so it'll be fun to see what movies. Flower pots, they'll be getting planted soon, we've sent letters out for sponsorship for that. The park, I know our, museum committee and the Lions Club, the Civic Association, we're planning on, maybe with permission, we just came up with the idea in the last couple weeks about planting a tree at the park, as other villages have, to celebrate the 250 celebration. So we would have to consult about where the best location would be. We just replanted that one, that ash tree needs to come down yet, which we have volunteers, or maybe if we took it down when we have the kids from the school come, they could, help haul the wood anyways. You know, if we did it a few days before, we have some volunteers ready to help. I think Bradbury said he could do it, cut it down, and then we could help make it smaller at least, and those kids could help with that. That's just a thought. But that ash tree does need to be taken down because there's only a few sprouts on it this
Yeah,
year.
there's not very many on it.
Yeah, let's see, museum, that. And then, it was, I did some research for, featuring the request for minutes on social media. There was a bunch of information. I called 3 IT specialists, website designers, things like that, to, get just rough estimates and whatever, some ideas. I just ran by on what we wanted to do. And it ranges from $0 on Facebook, but the minutes would be, you'd have to score for them each month, and as you get into a year or 2 years, that would be difficult to find. There's also, well, the photo star, which would cost some money probably if we did that. I'm not sure if that cost to put minutes in, I would think, but I don't know. Then there's a thing called MailChimp, like a monkey, which is free, and it's an email service, so that sort of correlates with our text. So I would think if we're gonna do that, I don't know, but it is free, no security on that. There's no security on that. And, then there's another one, I started sort of at the 0 and I'm moving up. And then WordPress.com, you can build your own website, but you get piecemealed on that. And this is per the IT people. You of course still have to buy your domain, and everybody has to buy a domain if they do a website. I'm not gonna go into all the prices and stuff right now. I just wanted to give you an overview. But that one, it would be low to middle of the road costs, and then there's always yearly fees. You gotta maintain your domain, and let's see, there's something else. Domain and email, and a monthly fee for some of the security, whatever. And I think if you're gonna do a website, you'd want security. Then I do have 2 estimates for, somebody else building the website. The middle of the road cost, they train people that they can maintain it themselves, and, they can add to it. Other pages can be added, like you would have a deck page that describes Willshire and the emergency number, you know, who's council, the mayor, things like that. And the next page would be for the minutes, and you would put it in as a hyperlink, the little blue links that would take you to that, and it would open up and you could read the minutes. And it would all be on one page, like 1 year would, maybe 2 years would be on one page. It's just real easy to go to the website, click on that second page, and it would all be links right to your minutes. And then the most expensive one, they would build it and they maintain it for you, and that's where it costs more. That one was a little more high dollar than it is to set up, but the one was Ashley DeBrye, and she's the one that would train you to do it yourself. She's sort of like, yeah, I could do that, and let you teach a couple people how to do it, how to add to it, and she said then if we have questions down the road, she could help us or she would design the first page, which would be a nice welcome to Willshire. And the other one was Brandit in Rockford, and they've done web pages too for Van Wert, Salina, and they do they do international branding. But of course theirs was high dollar. I mean it was those two both do quality work. Ashley has done a lot of stuff for our museum, helped us design some stuff, and then Brandit does excellent work too. But security on those two are top notch, and monthly fees, of course, or with Ashley's, she pays 3 years ahead. Once she gets you started, you pay 3 years ahead, and you save a bunch of money then for paying 3 years. So that was the most middle of the road reasonable. So benefits of the website is the ease of navigation, security, and can add other pages if needed. If you decide you have time to get ordinances on there so people can see them. If they have questions, they can read up on those and stuff. So that's what I've got. If you have questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability. But that was just an overview of options, and they all three agreed those were the best options for us to consider. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bruce, do you have any comments? Howie?
I'm gonna go in executive session later, okay?
That's all you got? Denise?
I had 2 people stop me and say the house on the quarry, the blue one, not quite asked the address, but haven't got it. They were pulling down the lane and they were all the way to the back, all the way past the house, like where the trailer starts parked. And the people come out and were yelling at them and saying they were gonna call the police, but doesn't the village own all the way back? So I don't know what that's about.
We got in a pissing match about that. They had it surveyed. Well, he put a chain up. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because we own to the middle of that, okay? Well, he cannot take and put a
Yeah.
chain up there. Well, he's passed away, but they cannot, we have the right of way to go back and forth up that lane.
Yeah.
Besides, you get back there so far, we own it.
It was all the way as far back as you go to the trail. So I don't know if they
I
must,
didn't even know anybody was even staying in that place.
well, I think they might be living in their car, cause every time you go back there, they're in the car now, so I don't know, but apparently, and this person said they were gonna call the sheriff on them, and they were like, go ahead, figure it out, so I just didn't know if anybody else had, I had 2 different people say something to me.
I had nobody say anything to me. Like I said, I didn't think she was even around anymore.
Been out there quite a bit.
Yeah,
Well,
they're always in the car usually is what.
we said something to the
crowded all the time.
we said something to the township, Brady, we went out and mowed it a couple of times.
Yeah,
It's township where they own.
yeah,
So
I can't think of anything else.
John,
The only thing I got is, will we getting 2 other quotes for the camera system? Cause you said last time that we had to get 3 quotes. I submitted a quote, and has anyone taken that over?
I don't know whether anybody's even put it, you gotta make it available, or you gotta take and find somebody that'll, give you an estimate.
So what's the next step in that?
Somebody needs to get some more estimates.
Do they need to come from anywhere in particular in this, or is it something we can just call and get some quotes from random places
Yeah.
around here?
It doesn't have to be, it's nice to deal with anybody local, but
And
if we can't.
Well, I would get the other 2 quotes, but I think it's a conflict of interest for me to go submit quotes after I submitted one for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just real quick, here on the quote, what exactly are we wanting? Obviously, we want cameras, I know that, but are we wanting one system? I guess what did you quote, so we can get an exact quote on that?
Well, we get a fair quote, I don't know, somebody, not doing the stuff he does or whatever, and then come in and,
The system that I quoted was to clean up and make the current system functional and work using the existing equipment.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
if you want to go to better cameras, more cameras, remote viewing, off-site viewing, connecting both the treatment plant and here and there all together, that is not the quote that I submitted.
Gotcha.
So that wouldn't be a fair comparison.
I mean, obviously, he's local, right, so he would do us a good job. Is that something that other companies normally do as far as come in and revamp your existing, so I don't know, I'm not a camera
I can
expert.
give you the number of the guy that puts him in, and he can send somebody over and probably fix what your problem is with it.
I don't think they'll do it.
I can, well, if they're not functioning right,
Yeah.
But if they're not functioning right because you didn't do a good job the first one,
well,
maybe we should go back to them.
that's what I've talked to him about, and he said he could send somebody over. I got his number.
I just didn't wanna get I just wanted to get an accurate quote, that's all.
Oh, yeah.
That's all the reason I was asking.
Apples to apples.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
quote was to simply implement what was there
Yeah.
and make it work.
Make it work.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I don't
we
have
had
a problem
heat
with John
pumps
just
or-
doing that. I mean, that's not really, I don't think we need 3 estimates for that. I don't know why we just can't have John go in and clean it up and get him to work right, like we want him, so.
I mean, only cause it's
I
not a
make a
new
motion, we just
system.
have John
I
update
don't
him.
know.
You can't do that
Why not?
because he's a council member. It's a conflict of interest.
So yeah, I like I said, that's why I said I can't get 2 more quotes because I would be bidding against myself.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
But at the same time, the longer it drags
Drags on.
the more you have a system that's installed that's doing nothing.
I'll just bring the number in, you guys can call him.
So, just my thoughts. I'm just trying to get it up and running,
I understand that.
you know?
If it's just getting it up and running, could it be considered maintenance? And not being replaced to have to replace it?
Yeah.
It can be, but we can't pay her as a council member.
Or you have an LLC, right?
I do.
Can't be paid as a council member. It's not IRO, it's Ohio Revised Code.
Yeah.
I get it.
The
Still
village could get in a lot of
ridiculous.
trouble. It's not my rule.
I didn't say it was.
Yeah.
Don't misconstrue what I said.
Yeah, you can send it to the solicitor, or, I mean, someone else can check into it.
Yeah, like I said, it makes no difference to me whether it's me or somebody else, it just needs to work.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to take it as far as I can, and
Well, I
until
understand.
somebody tells me different, I can't take it any further.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
So,
So you'll give them the number?
Sure, it ain't a conflict. Be alright.
yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Gage?
The only thing I had is, I know that it's getting later in the season, so I just wanted to know where we were on, last we talked, we were gonna post job postings as far as for the bathrooms, for the cemetery and all that, so I didn't know where we were at with any of that, cause it's getting late.
I think they ran.
Oh
I think they ran.
my God. Your renter.
Yeah, we had 4 applications turned in, 3 of them for mowing the cemetery and 1 for taking care of the restrooms, which was Casey. And since she was the only one, the restrooms are open now.
Oh, I
Ray
didn't know.
appointed her and said, yeah, go for it. I'll get there in a minute when I get my, and then, Honeycutt, Don Burrell and John over here all put bids in to do the cemetery. And since Honeycutt's, they do a pretty good job that we're pleased with, just renewed it with them.
So, no, I don't know, just for future.
Did we interview them other people or not?
Well, thing of it is, Howie, we got,
The grass was already.
it's getting too late.
Yep.
If we're gonna do that, we need to do it earlier in the year, like right after the first of the year. Otherwise, I'll tell you why, you get that cemetery in a mess, and it's,
So is that something that next year, when it comes time to that, we'll implement something to where we have
Start in January.
enough notice, and then that'll be something we vote on as a council?
Yep.
Okay. That's,
So, by Ohio Revised Code, the mayor was able to appoint. the
oh, I'm not questioning
No,
anything,
yeah,
I'm just
I
wanting
didn't.
to know.
The mayor,
Yeah, I made the decision, so it's all on me.
I'm upset, I might have wanted.
I think Honeycutt would've got it.
It was posted.
But I'm just curious where we were, I'm just curious where we were on that, that's all.
Yeah, when I come back from vacation, then,
I asked the same thing, like, does anybody know?
Yeah, it's getting late.
yeah, you get some
Next thing you
mess
know,
out
we're
there.
in spraying for mosquitoes, man.
Yep. Do you have anything else, Gage?
That's it.
Brad?
Okay, first of all, we had a meeting with Trace Brister and his neighbor Scott Danilchuk, I suppose that's his name, about them parking on the alley. I guess this has been going on for a couple of years. Scott seemed to kind of forget about it, but then he said he did have stone back there, so he's gonna try. Find some parking. I guess at one time, a couple of years ago, they backed in to hit Scott's vehicle, and Brister's insurance paid for it, which it had been done. So, and Trace said he will help him wherever he could if he needed it. So that's started being, we asked for improvement.
Who went? I'm
I
sorry.
went and Howie was supposed to, but he wasn't available, so I took Bradbury down with me,
Okay,
since he knows the
yeah.
little bit better than I do, the right of way. And like I said, the list of applicants, we had 3 for mowing, 1 for the restroom park. We had nobody apply for this job over here, this restroom.
Wonder why.
It's locked up. I mean,
You still wanna do it, Howie?
No,
Nope.
turn the key in, or she turned her key in.
okay, so we're still taking a bid for that. Wanna clean the bathroom?
You got
No, not me. Especially if I know who goes in there all the time.
Okay, so that's where we're at with that.
You wanna clean up, Bruce?
No,
That's
I'm
the
just,
point.
I'm curious, it's a block away, why is it in one position?
Well, we had,
Whoever cleans the bathrooms over there, why isn't that one?
well, we had 2 different people doing it forever.
It
Yeah.
never has been.
Well,
I
since
mean,
there's
we
only
can
one
see if she-
applicant, maybe make an exception?
We can see if she wants to do it.
Who's that, Casey?
Yeah,
She does not,
she does not.
not with her kids, she said that's just difficult
It's always
right here
open.
and now
I
with
mean-
her kids, I asked her already in case we needed somebody.
I do have a question, and I may be misinformed, but I'm just wondering with Casey cleaning the bathrooms, and you saying just make it that if she's a 1099 employee, which I thought you said she was, then she gets full discretion on what she cleans, how she cleans it. So I don't think you can just force her.
No, I'm not forcing her, I'm just asking if she wants to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. I didn't know what, whether she wanted more money or that's, like I said, we can find somebody for you.
Run it to road start again.
If we don't find somebody, we'll just have to leave it closed and either till we do or it'll just have to stay closed.
Well, I know there's a couple times where, we get back from a fire or something, it's absolutely destroyed, and disgusting, and there's only a couple people that use it in the first place,
Yeah.
so you can pretty much eliminate it down to that, and maybe it's more of a hassle than,
Then it's work.
yeah. Maybe that's something we should just.
You guys have a bathroom inside,
We
right?
do.
So you don't use that
We
one.
do not.
So maybe it's not a
Hold
necessity.
on a minute now. Hudson, whenever we had a line, I'd use it.
Okay, but, I
When we
mean,
get back from some.
maybe it is more of a hassle than it is anything, how you cleaned it, how many times in a year has it been completely destroyed and disgusting? I mean, I think at one point Club was trying to live in it, right?
Yep.
They just said that to
True
JT.
story.
So maybe it's not,
Correct.
maybe they'll push somebody.
No, it's not.
It should be open on Memorial Day.
Yeah, and there's times that it's awful handy, Bonnie, I get, and we've got the fire department's got a camera, you can see that bathroom. So if it gets destroyed, there ought to be some way to know who's going in and out of it.
Why is it listed separately in the first place?
You like Bruce?
Why was it listed separately in the first place?
It's always been like that as far as I can remember.
Always been there, it was there before they put the park bathrooms in
Yeah.
there. So somebody's always cleaned it from the city, so, and it's just stayed that way over the years.
Plus it's open even when that one's closed.
Yep.
It's open year round.
You know, I guess if we can't find somebody that wants to do it, and you guys wanna keep it open, we'll have to rotate this council. Each member takes a month, right? I mean, that's something to think about.
I've cleaned the other bathrooms before.
Yeah, I mean,
before season,
I'm not
closed them
above, I'm
up.
not above having a clean bathroom, I'm just saying if that's something you guys have to
We've had.
decide.
I got into some awful good messes up there.
Yeah.
Whenever we had the porta pots, like the good ones up at the park, they come got me one day and somebody went in there shit all over.
Listen, I
And I had to clean it
I
up.
lost the plunger at my house to that bathroom, because we had to, seriously, true story.
But it's nice, like Memorial Day and that, I mean, it's nice to have it open.
And those don't even work right now.
Okay, so you close it and you open it for the
Special
special
things.
events like that, right? Like when we have. the
We can
band.
do that.
And then you know it's gonna be clean, right? You're not getting hit with a surprise.
And we can always have like a key for the fire department if they need to use it.
Right, like there's a bathroom.
That way they can go in there.
They would be clean when you needed it.
Yeah, that's gonna be clean.
Alright, and then, to do things right, instead of asking, no, we'll just skip over that. No, we won't. If you've got things to put on the agenda, which I'm guilty of too, we need to start getting those requests to Jody 1 week before council meeting, so she can put it on the agenda. I mean, if it's new business comes up, then we'll put it under new business, but it'd be nice if we knew what we was coming into.
Is that council and visitors, is that as a whole?
Should be, as a whole. We'll save you from going around asking everybody if they're not on there, want to talk. And that's Robert's rules. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way it is.
So when you say visitors, you mean like when we come in, do you have
Yep.
to tell you a week in advance what we wanna talk to you about in order to get to
So
speak?
it's on our agenda, so we know what we're,
Okay, I just wanna make sure that was perfectly clear.
yep.
So, I'm just asking, so what if like Bruce, let's say he has a problem on Friday, he comes to the meeting on Monday, he didn't know he was gonna need to speak, how would we address that? Cause that will come up.
Yep, it will,
How
and,
would we do that? I know it's kind of a devil's advocate, but you're gonna have things like that come up.
well, if you can get here early and talk to the mayor, maybe we can write it in, would be the best way, I think. That
I
way
feel
we
like
can get it
it'd
in.
be frustrating for
Yeah,
them once they
have
have
to wait
meetings,
another
wait
month,
another-
yeah.
So if you have a problem with BPA, you don't even have that option.
That's true.
BPA meetings are less than a week.
Been only 6 days.
So if there's a BPA issue or zoning, there's no way it can be put in a week in advance. Like that just seems,
Well, she goes out, I'm just
unrealistic.
asking, you know, it'll go out, but if you could have it to her by Thursday,
so not a week,
that'll
just
give
a
you-
few days.
I'm just roughing it, you know, a few days. She will need to send hers out, so if you get it to her by Wednesday or Thursday, you get it to her Wednesday, that's BPA, so she's still got time to.
I just
get
wanted
it
to
on the
clarify the
agenda.
timeline.
But that way, when
Just
she
so
sends
it's not a
the
week.
agenda to us and the minutes to you, we know. That'll give her time, but I'm just asking council if they have something. The rest, I guess, like on Thursday. And then with Howie, I need to go into executive session to talk about some things. Next, update on 6-month repairs for
so.
smoke testing. We talked about
They
that.
have to have a reason.
Was done in September. We talked about it in November. We gave them 6 months. That's next month.
Oh, man, that went fast.
Yeah.
How many letters did you send out?
I don't know if we sent any of them. They were supposed to be sent out. the council.
I didn't know any violators, did you?
Oh, yeah. And 20-some.
Did all 20 of them work on it?
Did we give all them letters, Jody?
Able to smoke test.
Is that for like the sewer thing?
Yeah, for the sewage.
Something you guys can follow up next month, I guess.
Okay.
Us, you, whatever.
Yeah, cause I mean, it's getting nice enough weather, I understand,
Yeah.
giving a little leeway on kind of the winter we had.
Yeah, it was.
But it's getting nice enough weather, we need to send out a reminder letter or something that needs to be attended to.
Okay. And then last, bathrooms at the park are open, they were pressure washed before they were open. The baby changing table in the women's restroom was bad, so it was removed. I have 3 estimates on new ones, unless we can get them from, I don't know who it,
Go to Walmart and get one.
well, you can get one there for $95.37.
Oh,
It's
I
got a
thought it was
4.3 rating. Lowe's for $112.66, a 4.605 rating, and Amazon, you get one for $120. I mean, you can go up to thousands of dollars on these. These are relatively cheap.
How would you carry it out?
I feel like you're gonna wanna make sure you're covered, right? Because if somebody puts their baby on there, and God forbid something were to happen,
I think you'd wanna go to like Uline.
Yeah, that's the
because-
one I was
Like
thinking
the
of, U-line.
Cause then with
And
the
these
town
are all
that's huge.
fastened to the wall like the U-line,
Yeah,
but yeah, U-line would be best if that's where we got them before.
well, I'm guessing they have some kind, so usually with safety equipment, if you buy it there, they have some kind of safety coverage up to a certain amount if it fails. That's a lot of times why we buy stuff like that there,
Okay.
but I would have to look into that, and I'd be happy to do that if you want to, so I haven't
Yeah.
asked.
So like we bought chains, right, from Uline, right? It broke. Not only did the link broke, but it shot out through the window of our telehandler. Uline, that's on Uline. Uline covered that.
Yep,
Because they're
they
gonna
covered
charge us.
the damage and, yeah,
They covered all that.
usually it's like 300,000 and then your insurance will have to.
Well, when I worked for Commercial Landmark, we got a lot of stuff, you know. So you gotta check into the changing table, the blue one, it needs, you gotta check into the changing.
I'd be
table.
happy to, yep.
Anything else, Brad?
Yes, I do. I pulled out a copy of the oath of office. Just to wear back in here again, I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of the state of Ohio and the ordinances of the village of Willshire. That I will not be influenced by any consideration except that of merit and fitness in the appointment or discharge of employees. That I will not make or authorize the expenditure of public money otherwise than adequate consideration of efficient service to the village of Willshire. That I will faithfully, in all other respects, fulfill the duties of the official office of council. 3 people did not call in last Monday, did not say they wouldn't be here. I think if you're gonna dedicate to this job, if you're not gonna be here, at least call. That's not asking a lot.
I did call
We knew you weren't gonna be here.
way ahead of time, like a week ahead
You
of time.
told? Okay, cause I asked if anybody called,
In fact, 7
Nobody
days
said
before I called.
anything.
I had every intention to be here, but.
It's always like
according
this.
to the FRA, which is the Federal Railroad Association, I'm not allowed to have my phone on the rail or within 4 feet of that rail. I didn't even know what time it was. I was on
Okay,
the rail.
well, that's fine, I'm just
So, I
trying
gotta
to remind you.
I've gotta follow the federal rules, and by the time I got back to my truck and seen what time it is, I'm like, crap. But I mean, again, today, I knew I was gonna be late, right, by 8 minutes. I sent a message, I said I'm gonna be 8 minutes late, but I'm on my way. But as far as that, I have to follow the federal rules and
Well, I-
regulations of that,
Well,
road,
we
so,
were here
ain't nothing I can
till
do about
quarter
it.
20 after.
What's that?
Ain't worth losing your job.
No, I was in Jackson Center, so there was nothing I could do.
The other thing it is, former and current council or BTA members, you need to read the Ohio ethics laws. have to, I can't force you, but you need to read it. The Ohio Athletics
For who?
Counselor VP, current or former.
Sounds like a dig.
It always is.
Sounds like what?
A dig.
That's
It
not a
sounds like
dig,
it's
it's just to
directed.
let you know how you are supposed to act.
Is it in reference to something though, or is this just a very vague,
Just something I'm bringing out, not a reference, not pointing fingers, not anything.
I mean, we wanna continue to be vague and everything like that, and try to point anonymous digs. I mean, we can call out your situation. As a guy, right here, right now.
Yeah, we need to come to work. We can't have a pee match.
Wait.
but your councilman
But
started
your
it.
councilwoman here shut down 2 people after 5 minutes and let someone go on for 10 minutes. Go on for 10.
Who went on for 10?
7 minutes.
The first lady.
First lady. She went on for 7 minutes.
Different topics, different topics, you're allowed 5 minutes per topic.
You, in general, for museum, she went on for 7 minutes. We all sat here and listened to it. But she shuts everybody down in 5 minutes whenever they say something.
I let you go from 4 to 12. I even wrote it down. Everybody's times tonight, just so there'll be no question.
But you go time. Every time someone's bringing something up, you time them. Why didn't you time her?
I have her times down. She was
You did not stop her.
concluding.
For 5 minutes. You said that when I came in here, and the last time I was told to stop after 5 minutes. But when we call out people on the council, just like I just did, we get to call order, right? I'm pointing out the obvious so that way everybody can hear it.
You know, we
Someone else is
had
welcome to take time.
a year
I don't
and
have
a year
to
and a
do
half
that.
ago, people complained about how thud and dull this council was. We try to change it, get within the laws, and people, what do? They complain. Now, which way do you want it?
I'm not complaining when we're just doing it inside the laws, but when you wanna throw out an anonymous dig and everything like that, being an appointed council member, not an elected council member, with a volunteer on the board of the zoning that wants to hold quorum for zoning when you don't have enough people there.
We didn't have enough. 3 people out of, how many's on it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people on it, there were 3 people here.
No, there wasn't, there was 2.
Mayor's here.
Mayor's not on the board.
Okay, show me where you have to have a quorum for zoning. It's non-paid,
All board meetings are that way, Brian.
okay.
Are you supposed to for a council meeting? Like when you and Denise sat and talked about stuff that was in your folder last week when there wasn't enough?
Going over the minutes, yes, we can.
It was
You're allowed?
It was just minutes.
Cause I didn't know because somebody also came in and spoke when there wasn't a meeting. And then
Told
you
her
too,
we
so I
couldn't-
just didn't know.
Told her we couldn't do anything, she could just verbalize if she wanted to, but there was nothing we could do, and she could come back, we could listen to her, but there's nothing that we could do.
Nope.
That's not considered a meeting?
No, cause
No.
we couldn't do it, we couldn't vote, we couldn't give her an answer, we couldn't give her any,
But you did give her information on people to call.
well, that's
I
just
just don't
being
know.
that's just being helpful. I mean,
Okay.
if you came up to Jody and asked for information for people to call, I mean, I would think she would give you information.
Right. But she's not on the council.
I don't think we did anything wrong.
That's fine, I was just asking, I'm not saying you did, I'm just asking a question so that I have a clear answer.
Okay. That's why I had to take a breather.
Well, I'd be in violation all the time then, cause Kevin comes up and asks me something on the street. I'm gonna, if I knew somebody he could call, I'm gonna give him that information.
Right, I don't,
Same
do you
one.
consider that a meeting?
That's-
I hope not.
I don't think so. You give somebody an answer to a question. We
No.
didn't vote on anything.
No, I understand that, I was just asking, since there weren't enough people here, but somebody was allowed to speak, information was given to her, and then the 2 of you were going over stuff, so I just personally don't, I've never been on council, I don't know what constitutes a meeting and what does not. So I am just
If
trying to
we
get
try and make
clarification for myself.
decisions outside of council, that would be considered a meeting.
Or if we voted on something that we forced on everybody else, I don't think we could do that, but
No.
it would be a meeting. I think that lady just was frustrated and wanted to be heard. I think she was just frustrated.
No, I
She just-
agree.
Yeah, she just wanted like someone to listen, I think. I think she'd have just been mad if we're like, sorry, we don't even wanna listen to you. I think that's what I think.
I just don't understand how in the hell, a little town, I come from smaller than this, how he knows that this town is in uproar all the damn time. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing, and I don't care who likes it, who don't. Social media has ruined this country.
Mm-hmm.
People get out there and call me an MF and everything else, see them on the street, and you think they're my best buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Keyboard
come on.
warriors.
That's the reason why we're looking at a web page instead of a social media page.
What was the town like 10 years ago? Tell me, I was here. I lived here going on 15 years now. It was a nice little community. Now everybody's in uproar over shit. Why? Certain people? I ain't gonna deny it. I've heard plenty of shit about people. And to me, it just don't make no sense. What are you trying to do? Make a gold mine out of a molehill? You're not gonna do it. People's not gonna wanna do, they're used to their ways.
Yeah.
Howie knows where I come from. He's known me all my life.
Well, I've always tried to do the best job I could.
Right, and you do.
And I've been cussed right at my house,
Yep.
right to my face. My brother asked me one night, he says, how do you take that? I let him speak his piece. By the time he left, he was cooled off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was calling me every name under the sun, this far from my face, and I kept my
He's
teeth.
been picking himself up. You don't get in my face. I mean,
No, this is my space, as far as I can reach.
and especially if you're on your own property.
Yeah,
Don't come treading on me and my property. We'll have a serious problem.
but I mean, it's just, somebody sees something on social media and they wanna jump on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, they don't wanna put their name out there.
I put my name on all my shit when I talk.
Same.
I'm very
Right now,
vocal.
behind that name, like,
Every single
just
time.
say what you really want to, don't be pussy.
Do you have anything else, Brent?
Nope.
Jody?
Just the Brees estimates that were in the mail folder, but probably.
Oh, for Brees and
See
the,
the,
They're not here, so.
yep,
That was the only thing I
these
had.
two need to see accounts payable and receivable, they weren't. Accounts payable and receivable, those two need to go through.
okay, we're working on that. I did talk to Plumley about drain behind your corner. He's gonna TV it. And in between times, we had a problem down at, we had a tile blow out down on 49. So Plumley's gonna, he was supposed to come look at it today. Haven't heard anything. It's a big one. Might be an 18. So we're gonna have to get that repaired. All the things that we had go wrong with the sewage from the windstorm, all that's been turned into the insurance company. So we'll see where that all falls out. Oh, also, I had 2 bids on a lift station pump. I got one from Kleinfelders, which do a lot of work for us. It's for $13,000 some dollars. Somebody wants to see them, they're available to see. And I had one from, what was that other company? up by Toledo. Pump systems or something like that. Anyhow, Rockford uses them. I called Bubba and talked to him, and I got an estimate from them, and there was over $3,000 difference.
More?
For the, no, they were less.
Oh, they were.
I got the pump from them. I mean, it's the exact same pump.
So the guys in Toledo.
Yep. Water treatment plant, we got approved for the generator for the water treatment plant, new one, for $50,000. Okay, I called Willshire today and had them update their quote. And the president of Willshire's told me that there wouldn't be no update on the quote as far as labor, but he'd have to check and see if any of the switches or any of that stuff went out, so that's where we're at with that. I also called Mercer Electric. They install generators to get a bid from them.
That's just basically the power goes out, the water plant stays running.
Yep. Let's see.
Is the generator bad down there?
No, but that's the only opportunity we got to replace it, and it's put in 98, and it runs more than any of the other generators. So, we can get it, brand new generator, and I already talked to the fire department about maybe moving that one to the new firehouse. So Jeff went down and looked at it. So we'll just see where we're at with that. 304 Simpson Street. Where are we at with them on letters and that, Jody? 304 Simpson Street. We were up to date on letters and everything. So now it's prosecution, correct?
That letter, done stuff, yeah.
Okay. Dollar General could still be a go. I talked to Ethan, there's price difference. It's a hold up right now. If anybody's seen any wind damage or any kind of damage during these storms, let me know. So we get it turned into insurance. I looked as best as I could, and I didn't see that we had anything. So. Park equipment. We still need to look at our park equipment. The swings and that, we need to make sure everything's good on top, the swivels and everything, because them get wore. We don't want somebody to fall. So somebody on the park committee needs to take a look at the equipment.
I'll make sure I get over there, no later than Saturday.
Cemetery. As everybody's seen in the budget, the cemetery, I'm telling you, we need to do something. And one thing I would like for somebody to consider or go to a meeting and see if the township would come back on board as far as helping out with the mowing. Because one time that was a township and town cemetery. Well, whenever they changed, guys out at the township sort of faded away. But I see no problem with going and asking them. They can't do no more tell us no. I mean, there's people in there buried from the township, so.
I'm not sure who's all in the cemetery. Kelly is.
Schultz is, I think Denise is.
Well, the other day, they had a matron come in and was very upset that all the flowers were moved.
Yeah, I need to talk to him. I think Brad talked to him already too.
Okay.
So when it comes to the mowing for the cemetery, I mean, I get some weeks you need to mow more than others, right? I get that. But are we doing any sort of regulation? And because, listen, say you had an unexpected bill come up. I'm not saying that's the case, but say you have an unexpected bill come up, you need a couple extra $100 this month. Well, let me mow the cemetery 3 times this month instead of 2, or this week instead of 2. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying, are we?
He turns that in to June.
Are we regulating that at all?
How many times he mowed? Because there last summer, there was weeks and weeks he didn't mow.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just curious. I don't know. I didn't know how it works. I've been on council very long.
Cause I drive out through the cemetery every week.
It's a fair question though. It
Yeah.
really is.
Definitely a fair question. He trims every 2 weeks. On the stones and that.
No, I have noticed, like what Howie just said, I have noticed just from living across the street, from flowers and stuff blowing out of there. Maybe we can do something a little different instead of just throwing, because, listen, my dad, I go to my dad's grave, I put flowers on my dad's grave, you know, sometimes the wind does blow them away or something like that. But, you know, we spend a lot of time and to make those fake flowers and this and that, and I can see why those people might be upset. And maybe we don't throw them away, maybe we put them in some sort of lost and found or something, right? And they can come up here and see if they were turned in, or whatever the case may be.
A lot of times he puts them in the trail. And that. But I will have a talk with him, I know Brad already did. And part of it's our fault, we should have put a thing in the paper in the spring about getting your, you know, flowers and that. If you got any loose flowers and that, getting them off. Okay? But we've had some awful mighty winds, I'm telling you, we're gonna get 40, 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds.
Well, these flowers were wired in.
Okay. Well, I'm not questioning that.
She was pretty upset about it. She was in here talking to Joe when I come in, so.
I know Brad's already talked to him, and if somebody wants to go with me, you know, Denise or somebody that's on the board, you go talk to them and say, hey, you can't do that.
Right.
I mean, you just, if they're in your way trim or something like that, let us know, we'll say something to the people that doesn't, just don't yank them out.
One of the things that we probably should do is, there's a lot of loose bases that have come off the stones. And I don't know if you've been advocating that, you know, they might wanna check their stones, plots.
Can we do that, Joey? Run it in the photo star like at least 2 times.
I've already put one in about that decoration topic with one last week.
But make sure that they check their bases and everything.
There was a lot of them out there that this person showed me and Schultz that history was, I'm sure how it's that.
Well, you gotta go to the source if that's what happened, at least talk to them about it.
Yeah, I didn't know half of them were out there. There's a lot of people out there I never heard of.
Well, I heard about it when I got back from vacation, so
Well, I mean, people that are, got loose bases. There's a lot of them out there that don't think they are.
well, that's the problem, we're beating a dead horse here, you need to take, if you got relation out there, whatever, you need to check them once in a while. That's why I say I drive through every week. But you never know when there's something might go, array out there. They don't take 2 minutes to drive through it and just look. And like I said, I'll talk to Tim. But somebody needs, if they would, they need to go to a township meeting and see about, see if they'd help out again.
When are those township meetings?
I'd have to just have Jody check, I'm not for sure.
Fourth Monday of the month.
Second, fourth?
And I think they moved them up to like 5 o'clock.
I think we're still at 6.
Yeah.
I'll double check with one of the trustees and let you know.
I'll look into it, if that's something that.
Well, I'd like for at least 2 people to go. If you can't get another cemetery person to go, you let me know, I'll go off.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to ask. I mean, we're getting to the point we gotta do something. Okay? Anything else, Joe? Okay. I don't know whether you've all had a chance to look over Breese's quote, but it's a lot different than Gibson's. Gibson's was like 20-some thousand.
Is this the outside or the inside?
He's gonna take and
Well, I thought we had to,
strip all that. Brent said that's not, he said that was coming from the top
right?
before we got the roof put on. Okay, and then there's a piece up there with, it needs something over the top of it, but it's not to the point, there's a little retuck. Yeah, there's a little retuck that needs done, but not a whole bunch of it. his main concern was, you know, before they put the new roof on. Cause that's been doing this for years, it just didn't start happening.
Right.
So, you wanna think on it a little bit and vote on it next meeting, that's fine, whatever you wanna do. Also, the Willshire Days Committee would like permission to use the park. Willshire Days weekend.
Okay with it?
I make a motion, we let the committee use the park.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Same with the car show, we'd like to use the library. And close the streets off.
Yeah, that's the safest way to do it. I mean, you gotta.
Who days that car show?
Same,
Saturday.
Friday.
Friday night, yeah, Friday night.
What time do we, I remember what time it is, 4 to 6, 4 to 7, something like that?
5, I think.
5.
Yeah, it's fun. It would also be nice to, get, Johnny on board, probably a week ahead of time, just because every year for the past couple of years, Howie and I have gone over there to clean up that lot. Whether that be nails, trash, junk, whatever the case may be. And we've actually been getting a pretty good turnout the past 2 years on cars. I mean, it's just getting better and better. And it doesn't look very good on our town.
Well, we need to go a couple of weeks ahead of time, not just a week.
Nobody wants to come to a car show and get a flat tire.
No,
What's the capacity of cars that can fit?
We're really not limited because we can run them all the way down the street. We can go around the park if we had to. We filled this lot up right here and then both sections of the street, we can start running it down. And then what we do is,
About 50.
we get with the homeowners to make sure, you know, they don't block their driveways if they need to leave, but, you know, there might be people sitting in your yard with lawn chairs and you mind, none of them mind. It's pretty cool.
yeah, usually pretty good about communicating with people and that and the traffic control. Okay, you discussed about the bathrooms open and changing table. Also the tractor did sell to sale. We can sell, we got $5,500 for it. We got $900 for the blade, and the finish mower, I don't even think it's about $100. But what I'd like to do, I'd like to get a grappling bucket for our new tractor, and they're running anywhere from $2,500 to $2,800, and then take whatever money's left and apply it to the tractor. So,
Just curious, how much did the new tractor cost us?
oh my God, 40-some thousand.
Or something?
Yeah. And what we do every month, we take that out of certain accounts because that's what we use them. So it's not all coming out of one account. Anybody have anything else?
Just a motion to go into executive session for personnel reasons.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Roll call?
Carr,
Yes.
Cabell,
Yes.